it makes this left turn and comes right into the most sensitive part of the whole East Coast, and that's the New York City harbor. And, if you kept track of what was going on there, you can see the devastation that just took place. As a matter of fact, they're not going to rebuild parts of New Jersey. That was part of the holdup with the whole FEMA response package from Congress to get this place rebuilt. But the interesting thing is that they were already predicting how long they would be without power. After Hurricane Katrina, the head of the power authority, the Long Island Power and Light, I forget the exact acronym that they use, but the head of the power authority on Long Island resigned. Interestingly enough, why would that's a cush job. That's like the job that everybody prays for in the metropolitan areas, be head of a utility. He resigns. It takes a tremendous amount of time. We see all these huge gas lines because they can't pump the gas out. A friend of mine who actually lives right in that area, no police out. There were no emergency trucks out. The whole place was essentially free of any services that could have been rendered. So the whole area was left to flounder for several days on its own, with very little response. Makes you wonder why.
There's a lot of things that make me wonder, and something else that makes me wonder is when you and I were talking the other day about what happened at the Boston Marathon.
Well, from Hurricane Sandy, we go to Sandy Hook. Now, interestingly enough, there's a Sandy Hook, New Jersey, which is right where this hurricane comes in. It's that little peninsula that sticks out right into the New York harbor. And so from there we go to this shooting, a terrible, horrendous shooting that involves kids. Well, wait a minute. Let's take a look at this. The perpetrator is a kid himself. He's in his late teens, Adam Lanza. He's been known to have mental disorder. His mother tells his babysitter, don't turn your back on the kid. Yet she goes out and buys an AR-15, an assault rifle, and teaches him how to use it. And then allegedly this guy goes into the school, kills a bunch of people. But when you find out it's all handguns that were used inside the school. No assault rifle cartridges were found. And when they allegedly go to the car, it's interesting. There's actually a video of this, a news clip, where the police opened the back of the car where it was claimed that the Bushmaster was hidden. The police take out a weapon and they pump it. It's a pump shotgun. It's not even an assault rifle. And you're wondering, well, what's going on here? Now, the question is, who are the two guys that were seen running away from the scene? And then you have a lot of conflicting reports. And then you've got people coming out there, especially one. Now, I'm not saying kids didn't get killed, okay? I'm not saying kids didn't get killed. I'm just saying it didn't happen the way that it's being portrayed. Something's going on here. We are being fed lies. Now, let's go to the Boston Marathon bombing.
Okay.
Here's this is actually, I'm going to read this. This is from InfoWars, but I actually saw this news feed live the day of the bombings. It was one of the first news feeds that they were showing, other than the bombs going off at the finishing line. And this is well, let me just read this. This is dated April 15th, and it says, an eyewitness to the two explosions at the Boston Marathon today said that a drill was repeatedly announced before the bombs exploded, and that he thought it was odd bomb-sniffing dogs were in place before the blast. Goes on. University of Mobile's cross-country coach, Allie Stevenson. So we have a university coach, not just some guy who they picked up off the street. He's got to have a little bit, a modicum of reputation to him if he's associated with the University of Mobile, Alabama. It says he told Local News 15 they kept, and I'm quoting here, quote, they kept making announcements on the loudspeaker that it was just a drill and that there was nothing to worry about. It seemed like there was some sort of threat, but they kept telling us it was just a drill, end of quotation. Now, along with that, I saw two other news reports of the reporters saying the same thing. And all of a sudden, those reports stop. Now, this was in the first few hours of the bombing. I went to bed that night watching the same clips over and over and over and over again of the bombing. Don't get much other news. Little tidbits in between, seeing the same news feeds just repeat themselves. I get up the next morning, and what do I get up to? The same news feeds repeating themselves. I'm saying, okay, why are they showing the same news feed now 24 hours and nothing has changed? They're talking about the drills. They're talking about, they're talking not about the drills, but they're talking about the injured people, that they show that the quick response. They are interviewing a doctor at a hospital. It's interesting that they asked this doctor, about all these people that were brought in. I guess he treated 21 people at their facility there.
Right.
I believe that was the number. And they said, "Oh, were you part of the Israeli emergency response triage team training?" And the doctor looked like, where did that question come from? He's like, no, I'm just a doctor here at the hospital. And so now we start to get other news feeds coming in. All of a sudden you start seeing pictures and you start getting other information. And, I've watched these explosions now for 24 hours. And I'm not an explosive expert. Let me say that. I'm a chemist. But I know enough about the exchange, thermodynamics and the exchanges of pressure and gas release to know that the explosions that I saw happening there didn't look severe enough to cause a tremendous amount of damage. And one of the news feeds shows this old man just passing this area, an older man who was running.
Yeah, and
he falls down.
He was knocked down by the from what I saw, that he was knocked down by the
percussion.
Of the blast.
Yeah, but it looks that way. It looks that way.
Right.
When you look in closer to now all of the, here's an interesting thing, Rob. Now, you used to be a police officer, right?
That's right.
Have you ever witnessed any explosions like in front of buildings where there was glass, or let's say if a gunshot was fired or if glass was broken? If it was broken from outside of the building, which way does the glass usually go?
Outside.
Okay, so if you break a glass from outside, the shatter is going to go is jump outside. It won't go inside.
It would go inside, but it would also go outside.
Yeah, you're going to have some on both. The interesting thing, one of the interesting pictures that I saw was where in the storefront where one of the blasts went off.
Right.
The ground was covered with glass.
Yeah.
Now, if a blast went off, which is different than a bullet, it's a pressure wave which is going out, which is going to cause pressure against the building, pushing the glass, and glass isn't it's still kind of plastic. You and I have to blow that glass in.
You and I have got to take a commercial break. We'll be back after the news to finish this very interesting conversation. Peter Kling is my guest. Don't go away.
But I call you stormy.
My name is Rob McConnell, and I would like to tell you about a very special lady that I have the pleasure of knowing, and that's Miss Sylvia Anthony. Sylvia Anthony believes the golden years are a time to gear up and get busy, not relax and take it easy. She has faced many hardships in her 84 years, but they have made her stronger and more determined. As founder and president of Sylvia's Haven, a shelter for women and their children near Boston, Sylvia has helped transform over 1,086 lives in the past 27 years, not only with housing, but also providing direction as to where they can go to develop the earning skills they want and need to live free from difficult domestic situations. Sylvia's Haven is everything to Sylvia Anthony, even calling it her magnificent obsession. Women who qualify for the program at Sylvia's Haven receive assistance via guidance counselors to find the appropriate job opportunity. Women and their children may remain at the housing for up to 2 years. At the end of this time, or sooner, a woman who is successfully employed and has an apartment or home may leave Sylvia's Haven to begin a new and independent life. Now this is where you come in to help make Sylvia's dream into a reality. Sylvia's dream is to have a Sylvia's Haven in every state to help as many women and their children as she can, and to help this dream come true. A crowdfunding site has been established which can be accessed at www.sylviasdream.org. Now that's www.sylviasdream.org. With your financial help and support, Sylvia Anthony will continue to help those in their time of need, not only in the Boston area, but with her dream of having a Sylvia's Haven in every state of the United States. Your help is needed to make Sylvia's dream come true. Please visit and give at www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. And remember, the only difference between a dream and reality is just doing it. We need your help to make Sylvia's dream come true. Visit www.sylviasdream.org. Once again, www.sylviasdream.org. For the X Zone Radio TV show and the X Chronicles newspaper, I am Rob McConnell.
My name is Michael Telstar, Canada's leading mentalist from Toronto, Ontario.
Hi, my name is Splenda, and you're listening to my dad, Rob McConnell, on the X Zone.
This is Psychic Dorothy from St. Catharines, and you're listening to Rob McConnell.
Hello, my name is Holly Reeves, an astrologer from Astro For You, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back, everyone. Peter Kling is my guest this hour. His website is www.peterkling.com, and Peter is the author of Letters to Earth, You Can Survive Armageddon. Once again, his website, www.peterkling.com. Peter, talking about the strange things about the Boston bombing, you said that a report came from somebody that they heard over a loudspeaker that this was a drill that the people had nothing to worry about. If that was the case, would not one of the news media pick that up and run with it, because the event was covered by media from start to finish?
Rob, you would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so. However, when I was doing my own show, Awake with Peter Kling, I had a guest on, and my guest was a spy for the Navy, and his job was to spy on other spies to make sure that they were doing their job. And something that he told me was that every media outlet in the United States has a CIA agent there that approves the stories that go out.
Oh, come on. Do you believe that?
Well, hold on. Now I'm gonna just tell you my own little story here.
All right.
after the Gulf oil disaster, when I linked the Gulf oil disaster up with the biblical prophecy in Revelation 8, 9, and 10, where it says, where John says, I saw something like a burning mountain being thrown into the sea. And the sea, a third of the sea became as the blood of a dead man, and a third of the souls in the sea died, and a third of the boats were wrecked. And now that pretty closely resembles